Okay, so I asked you to do something called functions, right? First, so what are the various types of functions I asked you to do? Scalar, table valued, and then in table valued there are two kinds, inline and multi-statement, and the other one is aggregate functions. Okay, so what are scalar functions for? First of all, why do we write a function? For reusing the code. I mean, say you have to do one set of activities again and again. Instead of repeating those lines of code every time, you create a function and then you keep calling that function. So let me take a very simple scenario. Whenever we talk about scalar functions in SQL, scalar function, what is the activity of a scalar function? What does it do? It takes some parameters or does not take parameters, but it returns one single value. Scalar means one single value. Now say if at all you had to write a function like function int add int x comma int y, you will say declare in sum is equals to, you just say in sum first and then you will say sum is equals to x plus y and then you will say return sum. Which language is this? It can be any programming language like C#, Java, C, anything. So what is this? This is the return type. This is the name of the function and it accepts two parameters. The first parameter is an integer, the second parameter is also an integer, and then the braces begin where you give the function definition and you're declaring one variable, okay, called sum, and then you're saying sum is equals to x plus y and you're saying return sum. How do you do the same thing in SQL? Say what is the syntax of function? Create function. Okay. What is the name of the function? I'll call it as myadd for the time being. Okay. And then say, how do you pass parameters? At the rate x as integer, at the rate y as integer. Okay. And then you have to say what it returns. I'll just say returns integer as, and then I say begin end. What is begin and end synonymous to? The open and close braces. Okay, and then you would say there is a variable that I have declared. Okay, so I will say declare at the rate sum as integer. Then I have to set the value x plus y to sum. So I will say set at the rate sum is equals to at the rate x plus at the rate y, and then return at the rate sum. Fix syntax done. So where is the function now? Should be in. There is a function called myadd. Now what I'll do? How can I call this function? Functions can only be called in a DML statement. Okay. They can only be called inside an insert statement, select statement, update statement, or probably delete statement as well. Okay. If at all I say select, I can just say DBO. DBO means who is the owner of that particular function. Okay, database owner. Myadd. If I just say 2, 3, what will it do? Gives me a return 5. Okay. Now I can just say select DBO of myadd maths, physics from student. So what will it do? It will add maths and physics for only one row or for all the rows? All the rows, and then it will give the values. Okay. Not only here, I can also keep it simply select student name from student where Is that fine? I can give it wherever I want. Okay. Or even in an update statement, I can use this function. I can just say update set maths is equals to, I can just say dbo dot my see just some numbers 30 comma 40. Okay. So what will be assigned to maths? 70 will be assigned. Okay. For which student? Only for the student whose ID is 1. Or I can even say delete from student where my what will happen? It will delete all the students whose total of maths and physics is greater than 100. Is that clear? That is how you write a scalar function. Scalar function returns one single value at a given point of time. Okay. Now, the other kind of function is called inline table valued function. What does inline table valued function mean? Table valued means what does it return? It returns a table. Okay. So I will say create function. Name of the function I will say get past students. Okay. I'll say get past students is the name of my function, and I can pass some pass marks, some total pass marks. Okay. It can be any number. It can be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I'll just keep it as a variable here. At the rate pass marks. Then return table as and what should you return? You should return a table. So how do you in brackets write? You say return. What does this function do? It accepts pass mark as int. Okay. It accepts some pass marks as integer and it returns the table. Okay. As, and you are just saying return. Here we will write some select statement. Any statement. We will say select star from student where I can just write a function math plus physics chemistry is greater than at the rate pass mark. Okay, we are getting pass marks as parameter, and this one will return a table that has math, physics and chemistry greater than pass marks. Okay, so can I write select dbo get pass students of 100 from student? What does this return? Get pass students, what does it return? Table or individual values? It returns a table. So can you say select table from table? No, right? I should always say select star from table. So instead of taking the table directly, I give and I give the pass mark as 100. Okay? Or if I give the pass mark as I can also say select student name. Okay? Any table valued function can only be after from. Instead of table name, you can give this table valued function. Why? Because it returns the table by itself. Clear? Everybody. So this is called an inline table valued function because you just say return table and then you write your as and then you return the select statement whatever you want. Okay. There is some read something called union for tomorrow. Okay, union. Okay, so this is the inline table valued function. The other type of function is multi-statement table valued function. So what does the table valued function return again? It only returns a table. But it is saying it is a multi-statement. It means to say that we can have multiple statements inside the return before and then we can finally form a table and then return that particular table. So what is the syntax? It should be something like create function get student get student result. Okay, I'll pass pass marks as integer. What should be the result that should be written? Either pass or fail. Student name pass or fail. Okay, and then what is it? Return. Yeah, we'll say returns at the rate, say some table name. Okay, I will call it as SQL, just some name, and then say table. Okay, so what will be the name of the column? We'll say we'll pass student ID integer, and we'll pass I can give different names here altogether. I can just say student name varchar of 50 and then I'll say result varchar of 50. Okay, this is what I'll do. And then do you guys understand this? Who did not understand? You, Joseph? You did not understand? Did you understand this? Did you understand this function? What does it do? It returns a table. So what is the structure of this table? Are you defining it here by any chance? No. The structure of the table is same as whatever is your select statement structure. Within the select, if you just return student ID, student name, what will be the structure of the table? Student ID and student name. That is it. So this table takes the underlying structure from the select statement. Okay. Can we write multiple select statements here? We won't be able to write multiple select statements because it is just returns one single table. Okay. So that is the limitation of this particular function. But here, what I want to say is, I am saying returns table and I am giving a table name, some temporary table variable. Okay, and I am defining the structure of the table here. I will first say returns what kind of table? It returns the @STU table variable which has these columns. Here you are defining the structure of your table and then as begin and what will I do? You will say return bracket begin. Okay, so I will have to say now I want to get some values into which table? I have to get some values into this @STU table. Okay, so I will say select student ID, student name, and then I will just put pass from student where math plus physics plus chemistry is greater than pass marks. What will it I'll have to say insert into @student. I'll say insert into @SCU. Which columns? Say in student ID column, in student name column, and in the result column. Okay. Into this table, what am I inserting? I am inserting student ID, student name, and in the result I am hard coding it as pass for all the students whose maths, physics, and chemistry is greater than the pass mark. Okay. Now in the same table, I will say fail where it is less than pass mark, and then I will say just say return. So when you say return, what will it return? It will return this SCU table. Did you understand the difference? Here you say return and then you just say select. So whatever is the output of this select forms this particular table and then it goes out. But here you first define the table. You first define the table by giving @ this is a table variable, and then you are giving the structure of that table. Okay, you are saying as begin, and then here you are inserting into the table some data, and then saying return and end. Fine. So I will say get student I can say select star from I'll just say 20. Okay, if we run it, get student result, right? Can you see this? There are 5 students who are passed, 1 student is failed. Let me increase the number. What is this? Okay. Now there are 2 students who failed and then 4 students who are passed. Okay. So have you understood the difference between scalar? Okay. Whenever I say scalar, it can be used in the select whatever that particular part or after the where condition. Okay. But if at all you say table valued function, it can only be used wherever you write the table name, right? Only there you can call the table valued function. Is that clear? Can I join one table with a table valued function? Can you join 2 tables normally? No? Can I join a table valued function with another table? Yes or no? Can I join or no? Why? Don't know or no? Which one is the answer? Don't know. Can I join a table and a view? Table and a view. Yes? View and a view? View and a view. Yes? Does view have its underlying data? No. Does the function have its underlying data? Function has underlying data? It only fetches. So when you can join a view and a table, why can't you join a table valued function and a table? I will say, let me see if I can give an alias name to this particular table valued function. Okay, M what will I get? I will get I will say s dot max because I want to possible. Because when you say a table valued function, it's evaluated and then the result is got, and it is like a temporary table. So you can join one table with another table, you can join one view with another view. You have to use your brains and then you have to take a stand. You just can't say you don't know. Okay. Or you can't even say that I'm not able to think. Logically you have to come to a conclusion. If you fail, you'll know that you're wrong. Okay? But you have to logically think and then say why not. If you think it is logically correct, you should say why not. And then say yes. And later if there is some problem, you'll learn from it. Clear till here? Next. Aggregate functions, right? I mean, I don't know how to write aggregate functions because I myself have never written any time an aggregate function. But at least if you know how to use aggregate functions, it is good enough. So, aggregate functions means they operate on multiple rows together on a single column on multiple rows. So, usually aggregate functions are used with group by. Okay, whenever there is a group by, we try to use an aggregate function. Say, select is that fine? If I say select what will I get? Only these three columns. I want to get just the degree wise math marks. Select. I said degree wise math marks. What are you saying? I said degree wise math marks. Math. Okay. Can I also say I want to know the student name? Can I do this? How many of you say yes? Raise your hand. Properly. How many of you say no? Raise your hand properly. Okay. Those who said yes, tell me how will the output be? You, Aditya. Tell me the output. So I'll give you this. Yeah. Tell me the output once. I have this reference data for you. Give me the output for this statement. Aditya, answer. Tell me the output, boss. I mean, give me the exact values. Yes or no? What is the output that is coming to your mind? Can you give me example? Give me the value, exact value. Say Sadat, B and 70. But we are saying sum of maths. We are grouping by. We are not even grouping them. So you will say Sadat, B and 135. Does that mean that Sadat has scored 135 in maths? No. So there is some problem here. Whenever you say group by, and then if you say group by degree, okay, you can't have any other column name here. Okay, if at all you say group by degree, or if you say group by student name degree, then you also have to say here group by student name and then degree. That is possible if at all there were multiple same student names. Okay. At the moment, if you say, is this technically correct or not, this statement? Technically it is correct, but logically it won't give you any different output. It will give the same output because there are no two RAMs in two BCAs or two something else. Okay, there is only one RAM in BCA. So you can't group by RAM in BCA or something like that. Are you understanding? Okay. So whenever you are using group by, so whichever column name you have after group by, only those columns should be there, and if rest of the columns are there, they should be a part of the aggregate function. Now I can say average of what will be the output now? For every degree you will get sum of maths and average of physics. Okay. So whichever column is there after group by should be there here. If there are multiple columns after group by, even here you should have multiple columns. But if there are multiple columns here and if there is only one single column, it is not possible. Okay, if at all I run this, it will say student name is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or the group by clause. Okay, this is very important. People will take you like this in the interviews, in the test and all. If you don't pay attention, you will just miss such an easy answer. Okay. Next. Next, what else do you have? For a voter, I have date of birth. I'll say date time. I have to allow. Should I say allow nulls or not allow nulls now? Huh? There are already records here. So can I say not allow nulls? We have to allow nulls first. So I have 4 date of births here. I want to know the date of birth in the format MMDDYY. What should I say? Correct? Convert or cast? Convert. I'll convert it to varchar. Which field should I want to convert? Date of birth. What is the format? I'll say 101. Okay. It is MMDDYYYY. If I want it in some other format, say 103, I don't know what the format is. It is DDMMYYYY. Okay. So what are we trying to do here? Whenever we use the convert function, we are saying to what type you want to convert it, which field you want to convert, and then the format. So if at all there is an integer field, you want to convert it into varchar, just for display purpose. So you can say convert varchar, you can write student ID here. There is no format for integer, only for date there is a format. Okay. Next. And then there is something called cast as well, right? What is cast for? It is used for? It is also used for converting the data type. Okay, but is there a difference? You don't have these patterns, is it? Okay. How many of you read this yesterday? Are you studying at all? Huh? How many of you read this yesterday, convert and cast? You didn't find it. Same page in MSDN, below it will be cast. But you have to do something called, whenever you are searching, you have to say T-SQL. If you say, if it shows TL SQL or something like this, then it is for Oracle. Okay? For Microsoft it is called T-SQL. Transact SQL. Okay? So, cast you guys did not do, then what else? For this date of birth, I want to know in which month each fellow has been born. Huh? You can just say month of, or you can say date part, and then this. No, get date. I want to know this fellow's date of birth. Okay. If I want to know today's month, can I just say month? I have to say. Okay. Or I can say date part, get date. If I want to know this fellow's age in years, how do you find out the age? How do you find out? Don't go technical. Tell generally how do you find out the age? Today's date, yeah, minus date of birth. Okay, so I have to do a date difference. So I'll say date diff. Then should I say part also, which in terms of years, where should I say that? Okay. What is the date part? I should say right. Okay. So it is giving minus 33, minus 29 and all that. So I think we should. So my age shows is 33 already. Okay. Is that fine? Now, for today's date, I want to add another day. Select date add dd and then 1 number in between. Okay, so it says 2. So I want to add 10 days from today's date. 10. If I want to remove 10 days from today's date, okay, let me take this. What does date diff do? It gives a different. Yeah, I am saying from today's date I want to reduce 10 days. Is there date subtract? Did you find date subtract? Then why don't you use your brain? Okay. If I want to add it for month, is that clear? Next. What else do we have? I asked you to find out first at the rate row count. What does this give? If at all you said select star from student and there are 10 rows that were displayed, so what will be the row count? 10. If at all you said insert into student something, some set of values, what will be the at row count? No, I'll give some values and then I'll insert one row. What will be at row count? 0, is it? Why? It won't show 1. Row count is only for display, not for rows affected, even if it is entered. I don't know, I'm asking. Yes. So what should be the at row count for that? But I thought there is one row that is affected, so it should say 1. No, I'm not sure. Guys, check. Okay, if you say select and if it displays 10 records, okay, and then the at row count will be 10. Okay. So for insert, update and delete, where you don't show anything but there is some action happened, some rows are affected, in such scenarios you also have to find out what is the at row count. Okay. Next. What will this do? It will give the last incremented identity value. Okay. There are some people, what they'll do is, say there is a table in which there is an identity column and we are inserting rows one by one. What they want to do, after the insert, they want to say what is the latest value that has been inserted. So for that, what they'll do is they'll say select max of student ID from student. Then what will happen? It will give the latest value. But you don't really need to do that. You just have to say select at identity, because this will hold the latest value. See, whenever we talk about SQL, right, there will be lots of concurrency issues. When I say concurrency, there will be one server. There will not be only one fellow hitting the server. Within a fraction of a second, there can be hundreds of people who are hitting the server. Okay? So if at all you said insert, somebody else said insert, somebody else said insert, all of them inserted at the same point of time. If at all you said insert, and after that you wanted to get your latest identity value that has been inserted, if you write the statement select maximum of that student ID from student, and then in the meantime if somebody else has inserted, okay, what will be the maximum value? Not the value that you have entered, the value that has come up because of somebody else. Okay, so that's the reason you use this variable called select at identity. It is much faster, and then sometimes you might have to lock so that others don't insert till you get the identity out. You getting my point? Say you have a voter application, a voter database. The moment you insert data, you should get it should automatically generate the identity and then give it to you. Okay? So for that you wrote a function or some select statement which said after inserting select max of identity. At a given point of time, 3 fellows inserted, and the server was not able to run your select max of identity. Okay, so for you, whose voter ID will you get? 2 fellows after. Okay, so that's the reason try to use this at identity. Clear? Row count will display 1. Okay, for insert and update or delete, right? If at all you are inserting one row, the row count will be 1. If at all you are updating and it updated multiple rows, you put a where condition and you updated multiple rows, then how many rows are affected? It will give so many rows in the at row count. At row count tells the number of rows that are affected by the last statement, last executed statement. Okay. Next. What did I say? Row error or error? This one will hold the exception or the error that has last occurred. Okay. Sometimes why do we need this? Say you have to tell the calling application saying that while doing some SQL statement or executing something, some error has occurred. Okay, and this is the error. Or else the error will just say could not execute statement or could not execute something, which is of no use to us, because we want to know why is it that you could not execute. Okay, in such cases you might want to see the at error. Next, anything else? There is something called @table, means this is something like declare table, or should I say declare? This is like as good as saying declare. What is this? This is a variable. So even this is like a variable, just a table variable which will hold some information in it. Okay. How do you declare a table? You would just say declare table, and then you have to give the structure of the table. So you can say student ID int, What am I doing? I am declaring a variable called table into which I am inserting, and then I am saying selecting. Let me see if this works. Okay. So is this table there here in the Object Explorer? Is it there anywhere? No. Whenever you say a table variable, it is just like having some integer x or something like that for temporary purpose, whatever you want. What is the life of this table? Only till here. The moment I go do something else, and then if I say, it will say I don't even know what you're talking. So this table variable is only for a set of statements. Till it is in scope, it will be there. The moment it goes out of scope, it will get deleted, destroyed. You getting my point? This is not something that is permanent on the server. Okay? Next one. Huh? This one? No. I don't think it will be there in temp database also. I think it will just be there in the memory for a while till it just executes these statements. Okay? Whenever you want to hold some information for a very short span of time, say for, till the function executes or till the float procedure executes, you just have to do this. Else you should not have. Is that clear? Then there is something called hash table. Okay. When I say hash table, what is this? This is a temporary table. This is not table variable. This is a temporary table. Means this table will be created somewhere and it will be there for some time. Okay. This table will be there somewhere for some time. Now, how long will it be? Say if I have created the table. If I have created the table, I first have to log in. So my session will be active. By the time I log out, the session will be gone. So this table will be gone. So as long as my session is active, this table will be there. So for this the syntax is not declared. It is create table hash. I'll call it as temp student, and then I have to give this structure of the table. And then first I create this table, then I try to insert. So this table is there somewhere. Let me go and check if it is there in my object here. Not here. Means this is not a permanent table. This is just there somewhere. Where will it be? Temp database. I am not sure. Here, temporary table. Yeah. It is there in your temp database. Okay, there is something called temp DB. In which there is temporary table, and then you can see that the temp table is created here. What are the columns? It's not showing us. Okay. Now if I just say it has the values. It is taking from the temporary table and then showing. Okay. Now say I want to connect to this as some other user. No other fellow is. Let me do one thing. Here, let me first create one user. So when I go to temp.db now, I can't even see the temp tables of the other user. Okay, but this fellow, he can still, as long as the session is active, he can still do it. So the single hash temp table is for user specific for a particular session. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Let me disconnect. Let me connect. Ideally speaking, it should go away. It's not gone, huh? Yeah. No, I mean, the session should end. Okay. So this table is available only for me. So it is my responsibility, if I am done with it, to drop table hash temp student. Else what will happen? These tables will get accumulated in the memory. Okay? Which is unnecessary. So for a table variable, did we have to drop it? The moment you finish executing, it goes out of scope and it is gone. Is it stored anywhere? No. For a single hash temp table, it is stored in the temp.db in the temporary tables for a given user. Okay. Now there will be something called double hash table. Okay. This is called global temporary table. Means this is a temporary table for all the users. So if I say create where is my temp? Where will this be available? Yeah, temp course, it is here. It is here in temp course. So what I will do? Okay, I insert it. Let me go into this fellow's. Can you see it here now? For the other user? Okay. So whenever I say global temporary table, it is available for all the users. Okay. So say you want to do some temporary operation. That is only for you. You have to create single hash temporary table and then store the data. If you put double hash temporary table, then what will happen? It will be global. Other users also can write something into it, so the data might be junk. Only when you want everybody else to use it, then you have to make it double hash temporary table. Clear? And whenever you create a single hash temporary table or a double hash temporary table, it is your responsibility to drop them. Okay? Whenever I say declare table variable, you don't really have to worry about dropping it. The moment the function, the execution goes out of scope, the values will be gone. Okay? Clear, everybody? Okay, so I am done for today's class. So tomorrow's class we'll be doing. Tomorrow we might not have the class. I'm going out somewhere, so day after. See, ideally speaking, I should be saying I want to take a break. Okay. Being students, you are not entitled to any break. Right? No student should be entitled to any break till he gets a job. When are you entitled for a break? Only when you have worked really hard. Okay? and you are tired, that is fine. Studying is not tiring. Okay. I think it's the most relaxing and the most enjoyable thing. Okay. So, okay, we'll take it on Monday then. But the point is, you have to be thorough with whatever. So for tomorrow's class, see, we are coming pretty close to end of SQL. Another 2 or 3 classes max. Another 2 or 3 classes max. Okay. Another 2 classes for one is stored. I mean, we'll have to do for tomorrow. I mean, for next class. For next class, we'll be doing something called stored procedure. What is the difference between stored procedure and function? You should read this and come. For a stored procedure, you should know how to pass input parameters and what are output parameters. Okay. I asked you to read yesterday how to write while loop, case, when. You guys tried all that? Right? Did you sleep last night? Why? Still there was a lot. What time did you sleep? Not sufficient. Okay, you have to do this. Yesterday I told you, right? Case, when, all that. And then read about triggers. There will be something called instead of and after. They will be on insert, update, delete. Even this will be on the 3. Insert, update and delete. And then there will be something called magic tables. They are inserted table and then deleted table. There are 2 tables called inserted and deleted. You have to read about all this. This much is good enough for today. Okay? And then you will be reading something called normalization theory, in which there will be first normal form, second normal form, third normal form. Before this, you will have to read something called functional dependency. Okay? And then read about I want you to create a railway reservation system. I want you to create database for you guys. You don't have to, those who already know, don't help others. Okay? You have to create a railway reservation system. Means you have to design the tables where we can store information, train information, passenger information, station information, all that stuff. Okay? I want to see the first draft of it on Monday. And when you create the tables with the data types and all on the paper first, have some sample data in it, because you'll have to give me that. I'll read out your tables, I'll write how you have written tables, so that everybody can laugh at you. Okay? So, you have to create the railway reservation system. Tell the other fellows yesterday these fellows who missed the class today, will they come and sit and listen or no? Or these fellows have lost interest or they are still interested? Who did not come today? Don't know? What, these fellows have lost interest? Why have they not come today? Other two fellows are not there.